In the realm of human existence, few concepts elicit as much introspection and debate as that of good and evil. These fundamental notions permeate every aspect of our lives, shaping our actions, thoughts, and perceptions of the world. And as an artist, I found myself drawn to these profound themes, sparked by conversations with friends and the contemplation of whether good and evil is an objective reality or a subjective construct molded by cultural and temporal influences. At the heart of this exploration lies a fundamental question. Is evil an objective reality universally agreed upon by all, or does it only exist within the subjective realm of individual perception? Many philosophical and theological traditions grapple with this question, offering diverse perspectives on the nature of good and evil. My personal belief aligns with the notion of an objective line between the two, as articulated by Solzhenitsyn in his assertion that good and evil is in the heart of every man. This belief is rooted in the understanding that moral principles, though subject to interpretation and cultural variation, possess a universal quality that transcends individual biases and societal norms. Without a foundation of objective moral standards, we risk being led solely by emotion and perception, devoid of rational thought, compassion, and empathy. This slippery slope can lead to the dangerous rationalizations and justifications of any action deemed right in the moment, with vengeance masquerading as justice. To encapsulate the profound duality inherent within the human condition, I turn to my art as a means of expression, to the betrayal of a single subject embodying both light and dark, flesh and bones, left and right. I sought to evoke the inherent contradictions within us all. This duality, reminiscent of the yin and yang symbol in Eastern philosophy, speaks to the complex interplay of opposing forces within the human psyche. The biblical narrative of Adam and Eve serves as a poignant allegory for this duality, particularly in their consumption of the fruit of knowledge. Prior to this fateful act, they existed in a state of blissful ignorance, unaware of their vulnerability and mortality. However, with the acquisition of knowledge came a profound awareness of their nakedness, symbolizing their newfound understanding of their own fragility and mortality. This awakening to vulnerability, mirrored in our dreams of being naked in front of a crowd, highlights our innate self-consciousness and the recognition of our susceptibility to harm. And within the susceptibility to harm, this knowledge of it, we can see the harm that we can produce onto others. And in opposition to the belief in objective good and evil, some can argue that these concepts are entirely subjective, shaped by cultural and societal norms. This perspective posits that what is deemed good or evil is contingent upon the collective beliefs and values of a particular community or group. Furthermore, it suggests that notions of good and evil may be exploited as tools of tribalism, serving to reinforce group identity and exclude those who fall outside the accepted norms. While there is merit to this argument that cultural and societal factors influence our understanding of morality, I contend that there exists an objective standard of good that transcends cultural boundaries. This objective good, rooted in principles of empathy, compassion, and justice, serves as a guiding force in our quest to combat evil. It is through the cultivation of these virtues we can overcome the divisive forces of tribalism and work towards a more inclusive and harmonious society. Central to my belief is in the objective nature of good and evil, and is transformed by the power of love. As Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And this profound insight speaks to the inherent capacity of love to transcend the barriers of fear, hatred, and division. In the face of injustice and oppression, it is tempting to respond with anger, resentment, and violence. However, such responses only serve to perpetuate the cycle of suffering and conflict. Instead, it is through the cultivation of love and empathy that we can break free from the destructive cycle and create a more compassionate and equitable world. In confronting the complexities of good and evil, it is essential that we engage in introspective and self-improvement. As individuals, we must acknowledge our own capacity for both good and evil and strive to cultivate the virtues that lead to a more just and compassionate society. This requires a willingness to confront our own biases, prejudices, and shortcomings, and to actively work towards personal growth and transformation. Once you begin this work, it will never be done. This is a constant thing that we have to keep on pursuing. It is easier to point fingers and assign blame to others for the injustice and inequalities that exist in the world. However, true progress begins with self-reflection and self-awareness. By acknowledging the contradictions within ourselves and striving to overcome them, we can become agents of positive change in the world around us. And in conclusion, my exploration of good and evil through art has led me to a deeper understanding of the complexities of human nature and morality. While the nature of good and evil may be subject to interpretation and debate, I remain steadfast in my belief in the existence of an objective standard of good that transcends cultural boundaries. Rooted in principles of empathy, compassion, and justice, the subject of good serves as a guiding force in our quest to combat evil and create a more harmonious society. Ultimately, the journey towards a more just and compassionate world begins with each of us. By cultivating love, empathy, and self-awareness, we can become agents of positive change in our communities and beyond. It is through our collective efforts to overcome fear, hatred, and division that we can build a future grounded in the principles of peace, equality, and justice for all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button and subscribe. This is a ongoing series that I have been creating called Art and Its Statements, and it is all about existential purposes in life and just discussions that I've had with myself over the years. And yeah, thank you.